Hi, my name is Brooke Lippman.
And I'm Dr. Deb Lippman.
And this is Wine Together,
a podcast where we drink some wine and have a chat.
So sit back, relax, and get that corkscrew ready. Cheers.
Cheers, Brooke. Or in Italian, we'd say ching ching.
Chin chin.
Chin chin. So good. Yeah, so Italian Prosecco today. That's always a favorite. Well, wine, any kind of wine is my favorite. So, but is your favorite white gonna always be Prosecco or champagne?
Probably,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I've chilled out quite a bit in my old age and starting to enjoy just other white wines. Never did before I moved to Switzerland, but I absolutely do now. So
I mean, honestly, I like anything fizzy except for the Moscato because that had too much sugar in it.
it is very sweet, right? Your dad loves Moscato.
It made me really sick.
Very, very sweet, and I can, I understand that. I absolutely understand. But I don't mind it once in a while because I like to enjoy a wine with him that he likes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he won't, enjoy it. Won't have, he won't. To him, he doesn't drink wine the way that I want to enjoy the whole experience of the bottle. Where was it from? What do I taste? What can I smell? I mean, just the whole experience of a bottle is what I want to enjoy. But unfortunately, it's a sad, sad time of the year for me because I have to say goodbye to summer.
I know.
But anytime I have to say goodbye to anyone or anything, I'm sad.
Yeah.
So my suntan's gonna fade.
Your little air freshener thing just blew, it did not realize it was there.
Yeah, sorry. It didn't hit you in the face, did it?
No, it smells really good, but I just opened my mouth and it got in a little bit.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm always sad to say goodbye to anything. But, it's so funny because end of season, I'm always excited for a new season. But I'm always so sad when that season ends. So I'm so sad that my tan is going to fade, my hair is going to go back to normal, but then come late fall I'll be so happy that my hair's back to normal and that I'm wearing my jackets and sweaters. So it's funny because I love every season, but I'm sad at the end of every season.
I didn't get to go swimming at all this summer.
We did not go swimming this summer. Well,
you sort of did.
I sort of did a little bit. We played on the waves a little bit at Virginia Beach and took Finnegan to the pool just one night though. That I went to the pool with Finnegan and just But yeah, so I did get to. But I wanted us to. So we got to plan better for next summer.
Well, we said that last summer.
I know we say that a lot. We say that a lot. And
we don't even know what next summer is going to look like.
We absolutely don't know where we're going to be. We don't know where we're going to be, peeps. Just don't know. So, but some things are easier, in the place that you grew up because you know it. It's something you would have known for 20 some years, or maybe you'd remember 20 years of it. But it's still much more than the 6 years you've known here. So you're still not. Neither of us are accustomed to what we can enjoy easily here. We've had some great times here, but that doesn't mean that we're so accustomed to it that we can kind of make plans and say, oh, I want to do this next summer, I want to do that. So I think that makes it harder being in a new place.
I want to travel more next summer, but again. Like,
yeah, that's, you know what it's going to take, right?
Well, yeah.
And so I don't want to say,
someone to hire me, and that seems impossible, apparently.
yeah. So, I mean, you know what it's going to take. And so you just got to, yeah, I don't want to say it because, I say something and you think I'm harping. I'm not harping. I'm just.
Yeah, because you say the same
because
things over and over.
Because I don't know any other
again.
words to say. I mean, how else can I rephrase it? I mean, there's nothing else to say. Oh, yeah, but did I not? Oh, okay.
You did. That's why.
Yeah. But it's pretty decent Prosecco. I like it.
Yeah.
Guys, we do have Ruth's special guest coming up in September.
Yeah, but
we
don't
start,
spoil it.
We're not going to spoil it, but we just want to start, telling everybody.
We're going to try and get back to our normal schedule with guests. We kind of had a wonky schedule this summer because, like, some guests fell through, and then we decided, it's the summer and a lot going on, so.
Yeah, not, absolutely not making excuses, just explaining. Is something I had to come to grips with, that phrase. Had to come to grips with that phrase because of, just trying to get myself in a better place.
I know, because I feel like when I explain things to you, you just say that I'm making excuses.
And absolutely, I think that explanations and excuses to me, a lot of times do kind of cross the same areas, they kind of, come across the same. But I was thinking about, some stuff that had happened a long time ago and, how, no one should ever have to go through this. No one should ever be hurt like this, blah, 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 blah. But then all of a sudden this phrase came to my head and I had to write it down because one day I'm going to write it in a book. It may explain some things, but it's absolutely no excuse. So, yes, people, you might do some bad things and you might have reasons and they might explain your behavior, but it's absolutely no excuse for bad behavior. So I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah.
And so
it's also
I think that whole.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Sorry, no, it's just like the other day I was really stressed about getting my laundry started, and so I had like a little bit of a tone when I was bringing the laundry dryer out to the living room. You took it as me upset at you guys because there was no room to put it, like the thing in here in the back room. But I was just really stressed about getting my laundry started. And you guys were so stressed about getting out on your hike that I didn't have time to be like, I'm not making a tone at you. I'm not upset about having to put the thing out here. I just want to get this done.
I get that. I get you want to get it done. But you know what? Then
and I was also tired. It was early in the morning.
I get that. I'm not a morning person.
I wasn't feeling well.
So
it wasn't like, it's just sometimes I'll have a tone that I'm not directing at you, and you always take it as I'm directing it at you, but sometimes you do the same thing where you have a tone, and if I think that you're directing it at me and you're not, you get upset when I say that.
No, I mean, I think that you need to say it. I think you need to say, I feel like you're directing this at me. Because otherwise, how can you know?
Well, I ask a question, and you'll be like, oh, well, I wasn't saying that, or I wasn't like that, that's not about you. And you get upset when I ask, like, what, are you mad at me?
But you can't control how other people react.
Yeah, okay.
So but you still need to be honest with people. And I still think, trust me, I think that people don't know if you don't tell them.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm always asking the question, and then you get upset that I ask the question.
Well, I can't see that because obviously, but again, you don't know unless people explain themselves, unless people, are open and honest. You just can't know. But I think you should always recognize when your behavior's bad.
I haven't had bad behavior.
Well, of course, nobody ever thinks they have. I'm not saying specifically you. I'm saying anybody in general should recognize when they have bad behavior, and learn from it. Not just, yes, absolutely apologize and mend the relationship, but also learn from it.
Yeah.
That's my hardest thing is I don't always learn from it. And I go back and I repeat the same things and the same bad behaviors. And that's where I really need to work on that because it's not helping anyone grow.
Yeah, I think we've all just been stuck in the same apartment for too long together.
Yeah, and so, and then if I say something in response to that, you're going to say, "I'm trying."
Yeah, because
So
I am. It's not easy.
I
You,
know,
of
it
all
absolutely.
people, know
I
it's not
know
easy.
it is not easy. I absolutely know it is not easy, and I think that it's, just what a shame that. But you know what? I'm not the only immigrant going through this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the only immigrant in Switzerland, and you know what? There are so many immigrants in the United States that are going through the same thing that I'm going through, as far as like trying to find a job. Because I grew up. Everybody said, "Get your education." This is what's gonna pull you out of poverty. Education, education, and I harped that on my own kids.
And
I harped that on you guys.
There are people that are getting advanced degrees that they can't get minimum wage jobs.
Yep.
And then they can't pay off their student loans, and it's
I know it is a vicious cycle that I hate to say was kind of harped on the poor. So they never wanted the poor to be highly educated. And so, especially in the United States, they don't want the poor educated because that takes away from their nepotism. And we're certainly in a time in the U.S. that wealthy families from way back now have control of, a lot of important stuff. And it's not necessarily that people have a lot of people have earned their position, and probably more have earned their position than have not. But, a lot of times we kind of, what we hear word of and what we see is those who haven't necessarily earned it, but, just had people that they could help get them. And I knew this was I knew when I was younger that there's no way that it's sustainable for people to constantly use other people to kind of help themselves get ahead. I knew that wasn't a sustainable way of, of business happening. But there was nothing I could have done about it back then. I mean, I was from a very poor family, very rural part of the country. And, and so many things happening in the news. I'll say, I said that. I've been saying that for years. And it just, I sound like a broken machine. I knew this was going to happen. I told you this was going to happen. I've said that for years. I just sound like I'm saying the same crap over and over and over. And guess what? My voice was never heard. I wasn't in a position for my voice to be heard. And so I think that, it's just kind of it's just a weird dynamic.
We even actually talked about end of summer.
Oh, yeah, it's end of summer. We don't want to talk about this crap. Anyway, yeah. Well, what's the worst thing about summer being over for you?
It's going to get cold.
I like for it to get cold.
I don't like the cold.
Okay, why don't you like the cold?
Because it's uncomfortable. I don't like being cold. I do not like being cold at all. Like, even now, if I have my blinds closed and my fan on, I get really cold in my room. So I have to turn it off, or I have to keep getting up and walking around. And it's just, it's so uncomfortable being cold.
Okay. Now look, don't take this the wrong way, but I have to ask this question because I really want to. Is it because you don't like layers of clothes? You don't like to wear clothes. I mean,
that's not
You've never liked to wear clothes. Since you were a baby, you have not liked to wear clothes.
That's not true.
It is true.
I like my outfits.
Okay, but are they layers of clothes?
I mean,
not you like one little layer.
Because then I get too hot. So I think I just struggle with regulating temperature, maybe. I don't know. That's something I need to go to the doctor for.
I don't think a doctor can.
Well, if I have something like anemia or something like that would explain the being cold all the time. But
I think you'd have other symptoms if it were a severe case of
anemia. I do have other symptoms, but I'm not going to say that on the podcast.
Well, I'm going to the doc September 29th, and you're supposed to sign some papers then and get that. So, as soon as you know that he's taking you in on as a patient, you can make your own appointments.
Yeah.
You are old enough.
I know. That means I have to talk to them.
Sorry. So, you're going to have to, yeah. I hate to say it. You're going to have to adult.
Well, that's not the problem. There's also other issues that...
Yeah, we all have, a lot of people have these struggles.
Yeah.
And guess what? They still have to figure out a way.
It was it's been getting worse where it was the other day I was literally on the train crying and almost throwing up because I was so anxious.
I understand.
And that's something that I need to have something done about.
And I don't know that they can help with that.
Yeah, but
because a lot of that may be social anxiety. Maybe. But
that's something that I can't talk to Dad about because he doesn't believe in that.
It's not that he doesn't believe in it.
Yes,
I don't think, or at least I don't think that's what it is.
It is definitely that.
Well, I mean, maybe it is that. I don't know. But I haven't heard the words. I just don't believe in that.
It's just
I haven't heard those words.
When he's always saying well, you just have to that's on you. You have to work through it. No one's gonna help. That kind of thing.
But if you had the strategies and you had some skills, would you be able to work through it?
Well, yeah, but I would need a professional's help with that.
Okay, professionals write books. They write blogs.
But that's not how it...
It can. Okay, but see, it depends on the person. It depends on the person receiving.
Just reading a book about it is not going to help me.
Okay, well, it's helped me.
Okay,
see what I'm saying?
Not you.
I understand that, but here's what I'm trying to say. You can't say that everybody can't be helped by a professional's blog, but it seemed like you were coming across that way to say that you weren't.
I was saying at all. I wasn't even.
Okay, well, I want to hear you acknowledge. Yes, I understand. Some people can absolutely be helped like that.
Okay, yes. It helped you, and I'm sure it helped
just
other
me,
people.
not right.
Then can you let me finish a sentence?
Yep.
Okay. Because you keep interrupting me and not letting me finish my sentence. Okay, yes, I'm sure people are helped by, reading professionals' books, but that doesn't help everyone. That's like telling everyone with depression that they just need to go out and go on a run.
And unfortunately, I'm the kind of person that being outside, walking, running, absolutely does help me.
And that's
so
great.
See, you're saying...
but it doesn't help everyone.
I don't expect it to help everyone. But, also when someone comes to me and says something, I'll say, well, this is what's helped me.
Yes, and that's different from saying, you should do this. And saying... Instead of saying, you should do this, you say, this is what helped me, it could help you, but it might not.
I don't even say that much. I'll just say, this is what's helped me.
Okay, but that's a different context than this is what you do.
Yeah.
Because this will help you.
But you're doing the same thing. You're saying, this is what I need. You don't even know what you need.
I was saying I need to go to the doctor and talk to them and see if maybe they can recommend someone to help me or something to help me.
What if the first thing they recommend is someone's blog or someone's book?
Okay, then I'll say that has not helped me in the past.
Okay, but you don't know because it could be something different, right? Are you going to take their advice is what I'm asking.
I mean, yeah, but... that's a different situation. Also, I don't think they would say that. But it doesn't matter. Can we just move on?
I think part of this is a completely generational thing. I really do.
Yes, and you don't always acknowledge that.
No, I always acknowledge it.
Sometimes having these conversations with you is incredibly annoying and frustrating, and that's why I don't want to have these conversations with you.
I understand, but here's the thing. I do always acknowledge the generational differences because I know what my generation has had to endure and do. And so, and of course, my generation looks back at your generation and says, oh, y'all want everything done for you. And it's not that.
That's not what it is.
I know that I guarantee you, everyone in your generation is going to say, no, that's not it at all. But your approach to things is so much different than mine.
And what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with the approach being different. But I'm saying, because we will notice those differences, we should be allowed to say it.
Okay, but you can say it in a kinder way.
Than just straight up blunt.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not like nice, and it doesn't come across in a helpful way. It just comes across as rude.
Okay, I understand. Everybody thinks that I'm rude. I get that, but you know,
That's
I
not
am.
what I said at all.
But no, I know people have said to me, "You're rude." I'm not rude. I feel like I'm blunt, straightforward, and I just spurt out the knowledge that I know. That's all I do. And
but if you're going to be blunt, you have to allow people to be blunt to you, and you not get upset about it.
Well, I try my best to do that. But anyway, has nothing to do with the end of summer.
No, but we got into that conversation because you started talking about the doctor.
Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna let you get away with that, but whatever. No, it wasn't my fault that we got into that conversation. Anyway, so other than you don't like to be cold, you feel like you need to go to the doctor to figure out what's wrong. So see who brought up the doctor? Anyway, what do you think, like when you're here, because you haven't been in Switzerland. Well, no, that's not true, because your junior year, the first semester of your junior year, you were in Switzerland up until about mid-September.
What do you mean?
Because you were going to London, so you were actually here in Switzerland until mid-September.
Yeah.
And so you've kind of experienced.
Well, I was here last year in the fall.
Oh, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I was here the first year.
Yeah, your first year you were here, but I didn't know if you remembered it. Ken, you were so busy. I mean, you were just every day traveling to Lucerne, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hour train ride. Yeah. So that's, so 4 hours of your day was on a train. So that's kind of very different. So you're not really getting the gist of it, especially not the weather. Yeah. There was the time. Now, every night you had to wait in Olton about 20 minutes, I think, for a train. Am I correct?
It depended. If the train was late, sometimes it would be 40 minutes late. So I'd have to sit in Olton for like an hour. Yeah, so see, that could be, I could see how, the cool evenings, that would be. But you had just finished with dance or voice. And but by that point, I'd already been traveling for almost an hour. Yeah. So I was cold. And see, I just don't get cold. I mean, I don't know if I've just learned to layer. I can't. You've seen me put my coat on in the warm. You've seen me put my coat on in the warm, and it'll still be cold when I go outside. Because it's not the outside of me that's cold, it's my inside that's cold. Okay. It's like my blood is cold and not my skin. I just don't think that's the case. Because my skin doesn't get cold. I don't think that's the case. I just that's my problem. That's how I feel. Like, my skin doesn't feel cold. My insides, like my blood and my organs, feel cold. Yeah, but that, that's just not a human condition, I don't think. Anyway. And you know what anemia is, right? Yes, I do, and I've been diagnosed with anemia many times. It's kind of almost it's a blood issue. And that's why I'm not the only one that thinks. I had a friend who had anemia that said that they thought I had it too. Well, they will check your blood. Yeah. And then they will let you know. I know. It means I have to get a blood test. That's exactly right. And so, don't whine about that. Well, do I get a cookie out of it? No, you do not. Oh, come on. You're an adult now. They're stealing my blood. I don't get to go get a cookie? Absolutely not. No, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go in Kirkburg? Because that's where you got to go now. Kiosk has cookies? Well, you're a grown-up, and so you'll go by yourself and figure out what you get. So. I have to buy the cookie first, though, so I can eat it on the way back on the walk back to the train station. Oh, well, So I don't pass out. I don't think you're going to pass out. Because they steal your blood. It is a few drops. It is not. Took a pint of your blood. My God. I thought they took a whole, you were donating. No, it is not a donation. I thought it was you have to give the same amount that you give when you donate blood. No, you do not. It is, no. Okay, never mind. It is. I thought you had to give a lot of blood. No, they are not. Okay, why can't they just prick your finger then? Okay, because there's only certain things that they can test with that amount of blood. Okay, so then they just take a. But I heard it doesn't hurt when they actually put the needle in, right? Because they put it in a. It depends on the person that's putting the needle in. There are some phlebotomists that are so good
They will distract you. You really do not know. And also, I'm not a person that freaks out about needles. Yeah. So again, I can't help you with that.
I mean,
because I'm not that person.
I've been better about it like the last couple of years. I think around when COVID we started getting the vaccines, I started getting less worried about needles because we had to get so many vaccines.
Yeah, I think that there's still people who, as adults, cannot do that. But see, that's never been my issue. And so, it's just not. And so, I can't look at people with empathy and actually know how to be empathetic toward that because, again, not my upbringing, not how I handled. I mean, I've always been, just very, everything is what it is. And so I just, I just don't see a thing. Yes, I used to make fun of people, and I shouldn't have done that. So that part was wrong. But I'm not going to make fun of somebody because they can't handle needles. But I'm also not going to tell you I understand how you feel because I don't. Yeah. I don't get that. People have a job to do. They've been trained to do this, and they're going to do the best they can. And, I couldn't do it. I mean, I've not been trained to find a vein.
Yeah. Well, you can see them fairly easy on me.
Yeah, well, you can't just... there's certain ones they have to pick. Yeah. So
I know, but you can see through my
skin. So you don't want one that goes, the wrong way. So.
Yeah, and they have to do all that.
But anyway, that's your end of summer stuff you got to get done. I have to change out my clothes, and we've talked about this before. We talked about this when spring was coming, because I have to change out my clothes, and unfortunately, I have accumulated a few more pullovers and jackets over the past couple winters that I didn't even get all of them put away. So a lot of my stuff's already out, ready for the cold. But, because we had to take jackets when we went to our summer trip. We had to take a jacket to St. Luke because it was cold. In fact, we wore gloves. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Fortunately, I took 2 pair of gloves, and once we got to the top of that Alp,
I have to say, if I go back, I would bring my running gloves that I got because I think because they were thinner, they would have been easier, to grab onto stuff. I didn't think about bringing them because I didn't realize I would need them.
Well, it was funny when I was packing for the St. Luke trip. I thought, well, I'm going to take a jacket because I know it's going to be cold there. And I'll probably take a long sleeve shirt. And then I thought, I'm going to take a pair of gloves. And then I thought, Brooke's not going to take a pair of gloves.
Well, you could have said something to me.
I was too busy with my own thing. And so I thought, well, I'm going to take 2 pair of gloves. And that's fortunate because I did use my big rucksack. Yeah. Because I put everything in it. Yeah. I didn't even pack a bag. I mean, that was my bag.
I want to do that hike again. I thought that was fun.
That was, I would do that hike again if I could guarantee that the mountain bikers didn't miss their turn.
I know. They were so annoying. They should have let us go through first because that spot specifically was really tight.
It was not on the mountain bike trail, and they missed the turn. And so when we got across that pass, when we finally made it across those rocks, and it was a very scary pass. It was something you really needed to be sure-footed and aware and no distractions. Yeah. And had to go single file. It was a really scary pass. Yeah. And they came towards us carrying their bikes. We were like, that can't be right. And we, of course, we were on this pass for a little while. Yeah. We hadn't seen anybody else, just these 3 people.
Yeah, and they made
And then we get to the other side. We get to the other side, and you can see the sign for the mountain bike was to stay on that path, the big, wide gravel path. Why did they even turn across that part? I don't know. I hope they know that they made a mistake and they don't do that again because... had they done, I mean, it's not like I don't want to sound like I'm just this great experienced alpine hiker because I'm not. But still, had they done that to somebody a little less experienced, honestly, right there,
that
where we were at, that person could have fallen.
Yes.
Because we were having to hold on to trees and climb up rocks.
We were climbing up the freaking mountains
to let them pass, which was like...
Because they should have. They saw us coming a good enough distance away that they should have let us go.
Yeah, instead they sped up.
They obviously had no experience hiking. They clearly had no experience mountain biking. because they didn't know how to follow the freaking path. Right, so they shouldn't have been on that trail in the first
Absolutely
place.
not. I think they thought it was going to be a shortcut, but honestly, you're on a
No,
bike.
they shouldn't have been on that mountain biking trail if they couldn't figure out how to follow
that's
signs.
true. I think that they really thought that this was going to be a shortcut across, and they didn't want to go around the bend. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? You're going 3 times faster than us. And as slow as we had to go on that one, probably 5 times faster. Yeah. You would have been over there way before we even got through the pass. Mm-hmm. But no, they just, that. So that was kind of, and I get it. A lot of trails here, and that's something I had to learn to accept when I got here. A lot of the trails here are shared trails. Yeah. And that's really hard for me, but I've gotten much better about it. I really will say, when we're hiking, I will ask, is this a shared path, before we even get on it, so that my mindset is ready. Yeah. Because we've been hiking before, and your dad will hear noises behind us, and it's motorcycles, dirt bikes. And I'm like, this is not a dirt bike path.
They're the worst because they don't let the people that are walking, or they try to force themselves around you. They don't stop for you.
Absolutely, no.
When no matter what, if you're walking, you have the right of way. If they're able to pass you, they can pass, but you have to have the right of way if you're walking, because it's easier for them to see you much before you can see them.
Yeah, and it's look, I honestly, I don't know if it's something with my hearing, but I don't hear noises behind me. Not well, anyway. And so, especially out in nature, I'm not listening for stuff like that. I'm listening for bird song. I'm listening for snakes. And different things like that. And so I really am trying to enjoy the nature, so I'm not expecting a motorbike behind me. And especially not on paths that I don't consider shared. And even a shared path, I'm thinking shared path with a mountain bike.
Yeah. And it's
not a motorcycle.
Like when you're running, because I run on that path that's right behind, there's one section that last year there was a really bad flood and half the bank collapsed. And it is a shared path with bikes and people walking and running, right? The bikes do not let you go first. If you are running and you're already on that tiny path, the bikes will go around you and push you off the path. There is nowhere on the other side for you to go.
Right, into the forest. That's it.
But I have almost fallen over onto the ground when it was muddy because bikes have gone past me when they shouldn't have.
Yeah. I don't think, and I don't know that it's the mindset of people riding bikes, because I can guarantee you somebody is going to hear this and say, not everybody riding a mountain bike does it.
Anyone who says that is the exact person that does it. It's
get
the whole not all men thing. The guys who say not all men are the ones that it includes.
Okay, and I'm just going to have to disagree with you on that.
No, it's a whole thing. Because anyone who is secure in the fact that they're not going to hurt someone does not feel the need to say, I'm not going to hurt you. Because you know that. If you're secure enough in that you're not going to hurt someone, you don't need to say it out loud for everyone to hear.
I don't know. I think some people have a low enough confidence about things that they do feel the need to defend. So I can't say that. I think that, because I defend myself a lot.
Okay, well, you shouldn't feel the need to.
Well, but I do. And I know that's low self-confidence. But my thing about, in summer, you have the long days, and so you can hike later, you can go earlier and stuff like that. And then, and for me, somehow in my head, that shared path is it's not quite as bad in the summer as it is in the winter. Because in the winter, I feel like I only have this much time. But, my path where I do my hills is wide. Yeah. So I really, really don't have any trouble with bikes, because there are a lot of people that can ride their bikes up a hill, and it amazes me. So I guess that's one thing, is I can have an appreciation for them, geez, bravo. I can barely walk up this hill. You're riding a bike.
Yeah. It's also easier in the summer because it's drier, so there's less mud where you can fall and get hurt and all that.
Yeah.
So.
But in the winter, those paths you run on, there's less foliage.
Yeah.
They're muddier, but there's less foliage, so when you do have to go over to the edge, like what you're saying, it's not quite the deal that it is in summer, because in summer it looks like there's no path at all there where you're talking about.
It's tough, because you also don't know what's underneath the grass.
Nope, you don't.
So, yeah. I know, I've seen a lot of foxes there, and they hide in the grass and all that.
So would they not be out in the cold? I don't know. Does a fox stay out year round?
I don't think so. I think they hibernate in the winter.
Okay. So, yeah, that's another thing. Another thing about, well, autumn's going to come first before winter.
I know, which means the foxes will be out more.
And so, because the squirrels are really busy, and so that could be a source of nutrition for them. But, here, right, particularly where we live, there's a few deciduous trees that, the foliage gets pretty, but there's not a ton.
No, but the leaves are already falling on that trail.
Yeah, I'm starting to see dry leaves already.
It was covered in leaves yesterday.
Oh, goodness. Well, that can be dangerous running on, too.
Yeah,
because that can be slick and you fall.
You also don't know what's under the leaves, and, because if you step on a slug, it's just gross. And not that it's just gross.
Yeah, but then you also, my heart always breaks when, I stepped on something and I think, oh gosh, I start thinking about the food chain and who's not going to get to eat because I killed this insect.
The slugs are the ones that are decomposing all the dead animals and stuff.
Yeah, I know. They do have a very important job. Yeah. And so, that's something to consider is, that's another thing about people who ride bikes. I don't think they see the animals and stuff that they run over with their bike. I try to be careful when I'm riding, but I know there's a lot of times I don't see stuff, and I try not to.
Yeah, it's also hard to see them when you're running because you're going so fast. And, I found myself having to jump over snails.
Yeah.
A lot.
There's some big ones here, right?
They're huge. Every single snail I have seen this summer has been huge.
They're beautiful shells.
Oh my
gosh. Schnickemetauza.
Yeah. But yeah, I've had to jump over and there have been times where there have been leaves on the ground that I thought were slugs, and so I've jumped when I didn't need to. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And so so it's a whole different exercise routine coming up. Because in summer, you can just pick a time and go.
Yeah, and I like to go in the mornings. Yeah. Because I have other stuff to do during the day.
Yeah. And so, but so the exercise schedule is going to have to change. Our eating schedule is going to have to change. Things change for us around here when the seasons change. Not just my closet. Got to get my shoes traded out and everything. So, it's going to be a busy, busy time. And, this weekend, end of summer here in Solothurn is the Street Food Festival.
Yep.
And I am so excited. This is probably one of my favorite things to go do. So, I've joked and said I need to fast one day this week so I can, really do it up. But the truth is I'm not going to really do it up because your dad don't want to spend, he doesn't want to spend $200 a person there. But I want to try everything, and then we can't try everything. Yeah. And so, and you can't even eat as much as you want to, but it's just a lot of fun. One year I did try a local vineyard. But the wine was kind of sweet, so I was like, not really my thing. But usually we just stick with the local craft beers, and we have a local brewery in Solothurn, Ufi, that we tend to get their beer. They have lots of different stands at the Street Food Festival, so we can easily find a Ufi.
I think Ufi is a sponsor for the Street Food Festival.
Oh, they may be. So they got lots of spaces.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Solothurn.
Yeah. Also in April of next year, 2026, we'll have Beer Tog. And this year I wasn't able to drink, so I just didn't bother going. I felt like I had other things I could have done.
Well.
I wasn't feeling well, and I was like, y'all need to go.
I had that green beer. That was actually pretty good.
So we always see lots of friends at the Beer Tog, but we always we tend to ask people to meet us at the Street Food Festival. It's not like we're looking around. It is so crowded there. And, but I love it. I still love it. And I don't usually like crowds, but I make myself ready for this one. I'm always kind of prepared emotionally and mentally for the crowd at Street Food Festival, just because it has just always been so much fun. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. It's always a fun thing end of summer. But end of summer means beginning of fall, so longer pants.
For my trench coat.
Well, there you go. See, you got something exciting because this fall's going to be the perfect time
I
for it.
currently only have one pair of jeans that I can wear and feel comfortable right now. So.
Which ones are those? The latest ones you bought from Zebra?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Are the others just too tight, or?
I don't even know that they're too tight. I think it's more that they look too tight. Some of them are, and one of them is ripped.
Okay.
Like the belt buckle ripped.
Yeah.
Not belt buckle. The one of the belt loops is ripped.
Yeah.
So I need like 3 new pairs of jeans because I have another one that's basically worn out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad. I have to see if I have a pair that's too small. You could try.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try. I have a.
I mean, like here, everything broke at the same time.
Yeah,
the TV,
which is
the
tough,
fan,
you know. So that means not everything gets replaced at the same time.
No. Well, you did get your fan because we had.
I did get a fan, but guess what? I'm still having to haul it from room to room.
Well, you won't have to soon.
That's true because summer's almost over, and it was so funny. We saw a lady today. You know, I'm walking in my dress. Brooke's got a top and shorts on, and a lady is riding her bike with a long sleeve shirt and a vest. And it was one of the puffy vests. And I was like, what?
It was way too hot. I said,
look at what she's wearing. So then I remembered a story about a few years ago. It was late summer.
I'm sorry. You don't have time to tell the story.
Okay.
I've got a lot of editing to do tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't even know if I'll be able to tomorrow because it takes so long to upload it, and I have to leave at 5 o'clock or before that.
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to figure it out.
So
start early. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, she's right. We've talked too much. I'm sorry it wasn't so much about end of summer, but you know.
End of summer is when we start yelling at each other all the time. So I think that's about right.
You think so? What do you mean? I don't recall that.
Oh, it's when we get tired of each other. Because we're
but usually y'all are headed off to college, and now that's not happening. So
exactly.
But oh well, you know. I guess that's the beauty of growing up, right? Yeah. You move out of your parents' houses. You get a job and move out. And,
yeah. Unfortunately, they haven't made that easy recently.
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody's having an easy time of it. I agree, but you just keep trying. You just keep trying. You just don't give up. And, you know, unfortunately, just don't give up. Okay, well, we hope you've enjoyed listening.
We'll be back next week with a new bottle of wine and a new topic. In the meantime, if you want to join the conversation, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Wine Together Pod. Join our Facebook group, Wine Together Podcast. And if you don't want to miss out on our regular weekly episodes, along with all of our bonus content, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as liking, subscribing, and commenting on our YouTube, Wine Together Podcast.
Yes, please hit the like and subscribe buttons.
Please.